name's Winston. Winston Shakespeare.
Thank you. And what the is that smell? Woo!
This Brian. Okay, because I thought you meant the one. No, right, Brian. Brian McDougal.
McDonald.
McDonald, yeah.
Through the good times and bad times, she would always.
Come on, baby. Yes, baby.
Not just where you bump and grind it.
Peter's father was very into this and very rich. Whatever in here could really help us out. There can never be too much family in our family.
Taye Diggs is that guy. From Broadway to All-American.
Listen to yourself. Have the strength of your convictions. And remember, I believe in you, son.
He's been breaking hearts and making moves. But behind the fame, drama, colorism battles, a messy divorce, and even a lawsuit. He's got the range, the books, and the controversy to keep us all hooked. And this is all the tea about him.
Yeah, well, actually, the funny thing is, she's my wife. What?
Scott Leo Diggs, better known as Taye Diggs, was born on January 2nd, 1971 in Newark, New Jersey, but raised in the South Wedge of Rochester, New York. Taye's mom, Marcia, was a teacher and an actress, while his dad, Andre Young, was a visual artist.
Yeah, I can't imagine what she went through, raising me solo and then having the father just jet.
But when Taye was just a kid, his mom married Jeffries Diggs, and that's when Taye snatched up the last name. What about that nickname? Well, Taye came from the fun way his mom used to pronounce Scotty. Scott A. As the oldest of 5 kids, yep, 5, Taye was the big brother to his 2 brothers, Gabriel and Michael, and 2 sisters, Christian and Shalom. School-wise, he was bouncing from Allendale Columbia School to the School of the Arts.
Private school named Allendale Columbia, and they were doing a production of Tom Sawyer. I remember just wanting to be in it.
But the thing is, Taye Diggs, heartthrob extraordinaire, didn't start off feeling like the epitome of black boy magic. He was dealing with some serious colorism struggles growing up. As a kid, the comments about his skin weren't exactly cute. And let's just say they didn't exactly boost his self-esteem.
I've never thought of myself as that guy. You know what I mean? I was always the best friend to that guy.
But as the universe often does, it dropped a gem in his lap. And that gem came in the form of the Tyson Beckford. Watching this model skyrocket, Taye realized wasn't just the dark-skinned guy. Later on, he took those personal experiences and turned them into something the world could appreciate. A children's book titled Chocolate Me. Anyhow, after high school, he bagged a BFA in musical theater from Syracuse University in 1993. Taye was performing at the Lakes Region Summer Theater in Meredith, New Hampshire, and just to prove he wasn't messing around, he spent the summer of 1992 getting his groove on at the New London Barn Playhouse in New London, New Hampshire. Then, boom! Broadway made room for this powerhouse. In 1994, Taye made his grand Broadway debut in the ensemble of the Tony Award-winning revival of Carousel. But that wasn't enough for Taye. In 1995, he took his talent to Tokyo Disneyland, where he was out here dancing in Sebastian's Caribbean Carnival. But this man's acting career has been far from being limited to on-screen. In 1996, Taye burst onto the scene playing the landlord Benny in Jonathan Larson's groundbreaking musical, Rent.
As he pleases.
This was the role that not only launched his career, but made him a household name. And guess what? He shared the stage with his future wife, the legendary Idina Menzel. Taye's stage resume only gets better. He moved from Rent to the Manhattan Theater Club's The Wild Party, playing Mr. Black, and did a little off-Broadway magic alongside Menzel again.
On the coldest climb.
And don't forget that Chicago moment where Taye stepped into the role of the band leader in the 2002 movie,
Chicago's own killer dillers, those scintillating sinners, Roxy Hart and Val McCully.
Oh, and he even filled in for Billy Flynn on Broadway for a hot second. Taye also slipped into the role of Fiyero in the Broadway production of Wicked after Norbert Leo Butz had to take a break. He took a detour into the Guiding Light soap opera, and 1998 was his year, folks. That was when he made his film debut in How Stella Got Her Groove Back. Yup, the one where he played a hot younger guy who had, a bit of a thing for older women.
Why don't you wrap that thing around your waist?
And he was Go, playing a tantric sex god and the Wood.
That's when I figured I better call you guys.
Make it last forever.
Where he was a groom who might not exactly be walking down the aisle in the smoothest way. Don't even get me started on Ally McBeal, and of course,
It's not a problem for me. You? Not at all? Shall we? Let's.
how can we forget him and Kevin Hill?
What? No, I'm here. I'll be out on the next flight. My cousin died.
The show that should have lasted longer but got cut way too soon. He also reprised Benny in the Rent movie in 2005.
That you can stay here for free if you do me one small favor. What?
Starred in The Best Man in 1999.
A long time ago, Mia slept with your best man.
Jumped into the West Wing as a Secret Service agent and private practice.
What if we keep her up a little later and order in?
The Grey's Anatomy spinoff. He was in that show for 6 seasons, y'all, from 2007 to 2013. And if you thought that was all, nope. He was also in Murder in the First, a TNT crime drama that ran from 2014 to 2016.
Kevin Nyers, age 50, shot him dead in the face.
Fast forward to Lip Sync Battle, Taye hit the stage not once, but twice. And guess what? He was the only 2-time winner on the show. He went toe-to-toe with Nayo, Madonna style, and basically stole the show. And let's not forget, Taye is also an author of children's books like Mixed Me and My Friend.
Let's go driving in an automobile. Let's take a ride in the car.
In 2022, he starred in Incarnation,
Okay. Jesus.
a horror flick that had fans on edge. And in 2023, he had his own comeback moment in The Comeback.
For the 10 millionth time, Decent, I don't want another child.
A Peacock film that was all about second chances. And if you're wondering, yes, he was also executive producing alongside Megan Good for Forever on Lifetime in 2024. Taye Diggs is everywhere in 2025, and we're here for it. He's starring in the Lifetime short I'll Be Home for National Margarita Day.
National Margarita Day. It's about the sting of citrus in your eyes and you're bobbing for lines.
And playing Dr. Eric Murphy in Both Eyes Open.
Maybe you're receiving this text intensified your visions.
What is it?
Plus, BFFs is coming soon, too. On the TV front, he's voicing King Triton in Ariel.
Contact between the human world and the mer world is strictly forbidden. Ariel, you know that.
And Pupsicle in Robo Gobo.
Somewhere far away from here, so we can both be all alone. Who needs a friend?
All while still slaying as Billy Baker in All American.
Tell my family that I love them.
Oh, and he made a quick appearance in Alert Missing Persons Unit. But that's not all. This summer, he's taking the Broadway stage in Moulin Rouge as the Duke of Monra, bringing some serious drama to the musical. Taye's also keeping busy behind the scenes with The Pit, producing and making moves. But now, let's talk about the side of Taye that you don't always see. The side of him that's been through some serious family drama. Taye's sister, Christian Diggs, was diagnosed with schizophrenia when she was in her 20s. And that journey? Now let's keep it 100. Taye wasn't always the perfect picture of support. There was a time when he stepped back. Yep, pulled away. Taye admits he didn't know how to handle it at first. He was living his life, working in Hollywood, while his family was back home in a whirlwind. But after some time and a lot of soul searching, Taye came to the realization that pulling back wasn't the answer. He needed to step up and be there for his sister, no matter how messy or unfamiliar it seemed. Schizophrenia is no joke. It messes with your thoughts, your behaviors, and your connection to the world. Taye had to break down all those stereotypes he grew up with and educate himself on something he never really understood. The truth? It was a game changer. And as Taye learned more, he realized that just because someone's going through mental health struggles doesn't mean their life stops. Now, it turns out this man's got anxiety. And guess what? It wasn't until he was helping his sister navigate her mental health that he began to confront his own demons. Watching Christian manage her symptoms taught him how to breathe through his anxiety, to be in the moment, and to let go of the things he can't control. He and his sister partnered up with Bristol-Myers Squibb for the Love Your Paws SC Zybel campaign, giving families the tools, the support, and the info they need to handle this illness with grace. If Taye can take something so personal and turn it into a movement, we should all take notes.
He's an athlete first. Right when I leave this, I'm gonna go to see him play touch football, but he's a little hooper. He's a little hooper, yeah.
Oh, and did you know Taye's been through the ringer? He's divorced from Broadway queen Idina Menzel. In 2013, when Idina and Taye had been married for 10 years, made the tough decision to split. This wasn't about someone getting more screen time than the other. Nah, it was something deeper. It was the interracial aspect of their relationship that, according to Idina herself, started to pull at the seams. You see, Taye, being the charming, talented black man that he is, was often the face of major magazines like Essence and Ebony.
Sweetie, your mother is a praying woman.
Yes.
And she put the anointing on me.
Sure did.
But with that kind of attention came a whole other set of expectations and pressures. And this, my friends, is where things got complicated. Apparently, there was some side-eyeing happening from the black community because, well, Taye was married to a little white Jewish girl. Idina also opened up about how things were much easier within the theater world, where diversity was a given and relationships were celebrated without question. But once they stepped outside that bubble, the world wasn't always so forgiving. They were no longer just Maureen and Benny from Rent. They were a mixed-race couple trying to navigate a world that wasn't always ready for their love. By December 2013, the couple called it quits. They chose to co-parent their son, Walker, and while they ended things, they made sure to keep the love alive in the form of mutual respect. But that's not the only drama that goes down in the entertainment industry, and you know how it goes. One minute, everything's all smiles, and the next, you're slapped with a lawsuit.
We was born the same day, so we like, what up, twin?
And that's exactly what's happening with Taye. So here's the deal. A management company called Authentic Talent and Literary Management accused the actor of stiffing them on some serious cash. We're talking about substantial sums of money that they say Taye owes them for commissions on a number of projects, including, you guessed it, his starring role on All American, the CW hit that's been keeping him comfy and lucrative.
Look, I wanted to give you this. It's just an allowance. It should get you through the next couple of months.
According to court papers, ATLM claims they've been trying to get paid for their management services since forever. But Taye's been acting like the money fairy, forgot to sprinkle some dust on his bank account. They say their agreement back in June 2015 was clear as day. 10% of all gross monies Taye earned from his entertainment gigs, including projects like Beauty and the Beast.
When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large.
And 25 words or less.
Coffee.
Joke, drink.
Starbucks.
10 words left.
Plus some sweet endorsement deals. And baby, if you're making bank from All American, 10% of that ain't pocket change. But here's where things get messy. Taye and ATLM supposedly ended their business relationship in July 2018, and the company says the deal was terminated, but the obligations, they're still on the table. So, ATLM is calling out Taye for what they're claiming is a wrongful failure to pay what's owed. What happened to that? No public info available, but
Marriage is sacred. My folks been together 35 years. It means something to me.
And when Taye had been promoting his second children's book, Mixed Me, which, spoiler alert, is about a biracial kid named Mike. That's when Taye opened up about his feelings on his son's identity and, well, the internet wasn't exactly giving him a standing ovation. In a recent interview, Taye said he'd rather his 6-year-old son be identified as mixed race instead of just black. Why? Well, Taye's fear is that labeling biracial kids as only black could disrespect that whole other side of who they are. He even brought up President Obama, who's often called the first black president, but is actually biracial. I don't want my son to call himself black, and then people see his white mom and go, "What's going on here?" Some fans weren't having it. They were like, wait a minute, Taye. Are you denying the black side of your son's identity? Taye, being the stand-up guy that he is, tried to clear things up with a post on Twitter and Instagram. I am a proud black man, he said, adding that he wants Walker to grow up proud of both his black and white heritage. But the internet wasn't ready to forgive and forget so easily.
Why don't you wrap that thing around your waist?
One person chimed in, "You're setting your son up for an identity crisis," and others came for him, saying it was self-hate he was projecting. The whole thing became a mess. People were side-eyeing him, questioning if he was trying to avoid blackness altogether. But all that drama aside, the man's got range. As for his net worth, it's rumored to be somewhere around $7 million, though some whispers claim it's closer to $16 million. Get it, Taye. We see you. Either way, that's a lot of cheddar. The man's been making moves, and he's still out here securing the bag. 2025, it's gonna be huge. First up, both eyes open.
Maybe your receiving this text intensified your visions.
What is it? And Robo-Gobo.
I don't have to. I'll leave that to my latest and greatest invention. My mecha mutzicles!
Two works that are about to make waves.